You're listening to
Catholic Sprouts,
the daily podcast for Catholic kids that strives to plant seeds of faith.
Greetings, young Squire Sprouts. Today is the 29th day in the 10th month in the year of our Lord, 2021. My name is Sir Roland, and it has been my pleasure to be with you all week on Catholic Sprouts to teach you the art of dragon slaying, where we learned how to recognize a dragon. We learned how to be healed of all dragon wounds and reconciliation. We learned the power to slay a dragon with grace through sacramentals and great sacraments, and we learned the power of the rosary and the stories of great dragon slayers of old. And today, our final day together, I would like to tell you a story, my favorite dragon slayer story, a story that begins 1,500 years after it ended. In the year 1802, in the catacombs of St. Priscilla in Rome, they found an unknown grave that they'd never found before, and the grave was marked with the name of Philomena, and they knew from the grave that it was a martyr because there was a vial of blood and different symbolism symbolizing a martyr, and they knew that she was about 13 years old when she died, and she lived in the 3rd or 4th century, and that's all they knew about her. And one day a really holy priest from Magnano, Italy, came looking for the relics of a martyr because his parishioners were being attacked by a dragon named Slackbottom, who we talked about before. They were lazy, they were apathetic, they were going through motions, they had no passion and zeal, and he figured if he could bring the relics of a martyr, it might wake them up. And so they gave him the relics of Philomena, and immediately when he returned back, miracles upon miracles began to happen. People were being cured of all kind of illnesses and sicknesses. And it is on this occasion that a woman named Pauline Jericho, under the direction of St. John Vianney, who had a special devotion to Philomena, sent her to Magnano to be healed of a heart condition because she was dying. And on her way to Magnano, she stopped to visit the Pope. And the Pope saw her, and she was at the point of death. And he didn't even think she was going to make it to visit Philomena's remains in Magnano. And Pauline Jericho asked the Pope and said, "If I make it there and Philomena heals me through the power of her intercession, will you canonize her a saint?" And the Pope was like, "Well, of course, that would be a first-class miracle." And so you know what happened. Pauline Jericho made the trip. And sure enough, she was healed of her heart condition, totally cured. And the Pope at the time canonized St. Philomena solely based on the power of her miraculous intercession. But that, dear friends, is just where the story begins, because up until then, they knew nothing of the life of Philomena. But she wanted her story to be known, so she appeared to 3 different people and told her story, and the stories fit together perfectly. And this is her story. She was born to parents who were not Christian, but they really wanted a child and they weren't able to have children. And one of their friends convinced them to convert to Christianity, and that maybe if they did, God would grant them a child. Sure enough, they converted to Christianity, and they had a little baby girl, and they were so excited they named the little baby girl Lumina, which means light. And on the day of her baptism, they named her Philomena, daughter of light. And she grew beautiful and strong, and she was the daughter of a governor in Greece. And one day when she was about 13 years old, she was traveling with her father to visit the emperor of Rome, Diocletian. Perhaps you've heard of him. He's the guy that persecuted so many Christians. But when he saw Philomena, he fell instantly in love. He loved her because he didn't actually love her. He didn't know what love was because he was attacked by dragons all the time. But he thought she was so beautiful that he wanted her to be his wife. But Philomena refused. She said, "I've consecrated my life to Jesus." This made Diocletian so angry, he threw her in a prison cell with hardly any food or water, and she sat there for 37 days, and she was attacked by Rendagon because she felt abandoned and alone and scared. And so Cringe Liver also attacked her. Cringe Liver is a dragon that tries to make us scared. But it was then that Our Lady Mary appeared to Philomena, and she said, quote, Have courage, my child. You are called Lumina, as your spouse is called Light, Star, Sun, as I myself am called Aurora, Sun, Star, the moon in the fullness of its brightness, and Sun. Fear not, I will aid you now. Now nature, whose weakness humbles you, asserts its law. In the moment of combat, grace will come to lend you its force. And your angel, who is also mine, Gabriel, whose name expresses strength, will come to your aid. I will recommend you especially to his care as the well-beloved among my children. This gave Philomena great courage, and she would need it, because when she still refused to marry Diocletian, he was attacked by Malefactor in a fit of rage. And he actually called Jesus a malefactor. This is what he said, quote, "Since she is not ashamed to prefer to an emperor like me, a malefactor," he means Jesus, "condemned to an infamous death by his own people, she deserves that my justice shall treat her as he was treated." So do you know what he did? He had her scourged just like they scourged Jesus, and she was bleeding to almost an inch of her life. But just like Mary said, the angels came to her and ministered her and cured her and made her better. And this made Diocletian even more mad. And then he put an anchor around her neck and threw her in the Tiber River. And of course, the angels came and unloosened the anchor, and everybody cheered and they said, "I'm converting to Christianity. This God is amazing." They tried to shoot her with arrows, and that didn't kill her. The angels cured her of that as well. And finally, after many attempts of martyrdom, they finally killed her with a sword, but by then she had already gone. Her soul had taken flight on August 10th of 304 to be with her divine spouse, Jesus. She faced so many dragons with so much great courage, and her name, Lumina, means light. And she reminds us that we are all children of the light, and dragons hate light. So, dear young Squire Sprouts, my challenge for you is to let your light shine, to be the saints that God created you to be, to share your light with the world. I do hope that we will meet again. If you would like to send me fan mail, I'm not bragging, I'm not the greatest Dragon Slayer ever, but maybe sometimes people like to send me fan mail or send me pictures of things that they drew. I would love to hear from you. You can email my Squire John at john@extraordinarymission.com. I'd love to hear from you. And I do hope that you will try our great Dragon Slayers retreat and our great Saints in the Making family challenge. So many great resources for you. I know you're going to love it. So I bid you farewell. And until we meet again, I leave you under the great protection of St. Michael, the great archangel, of St. Joseph, the terror of dragons and protector of Holy Church, and Mary, Queen of the angels, Our Lady of the Rosary, Our Lady of Grace, and the woman whose seed crushed the head of the dragon.
That's it for Catholic Sprouts today. We'll be back tomorrow, but until then, continue to grow in your faith and truly sprout into the beautiful creation that God created you to be.
Hey, parents and kids. My name is John Wood. I'm Sir Roland's squire, and I'm the creator of Dragon Slayers, a fun family virtual retreat that you can experience today in your own home. Dragon Slayers was a 2021 finalist in the Our Sunday Visitor Catholic Innovation Challenge, which seeks to find and support the best new Catholic ideas in the world, and we would love to share our new Dragon Slayer retreat with you. You can join Sir Roland Paterlot, Lady Melissa Materlot, and all of their young squires in a fun Dragon Slayer presentation. There's a powerful talk for parents, all kind of Dragon Slayers games, resources, coloring pages, and more. Plus, it includes our Saints in the Making University Family Challenge. To find out more and to register, go to saintsinthemaking.com/resources or check the show notes. Psst, kids, it's Sir Roland. Tell your parents you won the Dragon Slayer retreat.
This show is a production of the Spoke Street Media Podcast Network. For more great podcasts, visit spokestreet.com.